They did not speak for a while after the blue-haired traveller vanished. The fire she had left behind crackled softly, steady and real against the strangeness of what had just occurred. The green glass shard in Jihye's hand pulsed faintly. Not warm like the amulet, but cool like something that remembered water. Raphael examined the golden shard he had been given, turning it carefully between his fingers. He did not look as the others as he slipped it into a hidden pocket within his coat. "You will know," he murmured to himself, echoing the traveller's words. Joaquin watched the place where she had stood. "I do not like beings that arrive without warning and leave without effort." Estatrix's gaze remained on the horizon. "There are older things than the Lyrines," he said, quietly. "Collectors of what we forget." Caleb crouched near the fire, staring at the faint indentation in the grass where the woman's blanket had been. "She helped," he said softly. "Yes," Raphael replied. "That does not mean she was harmless." Jihye felt the shard cool against her palm and looked down at it again. The memory she had unlocked still pulsed through her, sharp and vivid. Her mother's tears, the amulet pressed to her skin, the feeling of being bound. She swallowed. "We need to decide," she said. Raphael looked at her. "About what?" "About what we do next." Silence followed. They all knew the answer in fragments, but none of them had spoken it plainly. "We stop Arcanthus," Joaquin said at last. The words felt larger than the air around them. Estatrix gave a low, humorless sound. "It is bold ambition." "It's the only one we have," Raphael replied. Caleb rubbed his hands together anxiously. "How do you stop a god?" Raphael's eyes narrowed slightly. "You study it. You understand it. You find the flaw." Estatrix inclined his head faintly. "Even Leviathans bleed if you know where to bite." Jihye looked at the green shard again, then back at Raphael. "The traveller said she met a researcher in the town before this one." Raphael's expression sharpened. "A researcher?" "Yes," Jihye said. "Someone studying anomalies, strange occurrences." Estatrix gave her a long look. "And you believe such a person could help?" "We do not have many options," Raphael said calmly. "The Lyrines are compromised, the cultists are spreading. We can't outfight a god, but we may outthink him." Caleb nodded slowly. "It's better than walking blindly." Joaquin looked towards the faint line of smoke rising from the distant village. "Then that is where we go." The decision settled easily this time. They doused the remaining embers of the fire and prepared to leave. As they did, Jihye felt a soft presence beside her. The blue-haired traveller stood once more at the edge of the clearing, as if she had never left at all. Jihye started. The woman smiled faintly. "You walk into uncertainty with admirable stubbornness." Raphael did not look surprised this time. "You did not say farewell." The traveller's gaze rested on Jihye. "I had one more thing to say." She stepped closer, voice lowering slightly. "Trust yourself," she said gently, "and let the memories you are holding back be free. They are not your enemy." Jihye's throat tightened. Before she could respond, the traveller inclined her head once again and vanished, leaving only the faint scent of tea in the air. They resumed their journey. The road curved gently inland before returning towards the coast. The sea remained visible in flashes between hills and scrub, its surface deceptively calm. They walked for hours, their steps steady, conversation sparse. Occasionally, Caleb attempted small talk about Raptor's submersible. Joaquin offered dry observations about the terrain. Estratrix remained mostly silent, though Jihye caught him glancing at her more than once. The amulet warmed intermittently as they travelled. Sometimes it was barely noticeable, a faint hum against her chest. Other times it flared sharply, making her breath catch without warning. Each time she forced herself not to panic. Trust yourself. The words lingered. By late afternoon they crested a small rise and saw the town. It was modest, a scattering of buildings clustered around a dusty crossroads. A few wooden houses leaned slightly with age, a windmill creaked lazily at the outskirts. Smoke rose from a single chimney. It did not look like a place that housed a mind capable of challenging gods. There, Caleb said. Joaquin studied the settlement carefully. Small. Unremarkable, Raphael added. Perfect, Estratrix murmured. They entered without ceremony. A single saloon dominated the main street, its wooden sign swaying gently in the breeze. The building looked worn but sturdy, and a faded sign advertised rooms for rent. Inside, the air smelled of wood smoke and ale. A handful of patrons sat scattered at tables, none of them looking particularly interested in the world beyond their drinks. They secured 2 rooms and settled at a table near the bar. Dinner was simple but filling. Stew again, thick and hearty. Bread. Something that might once have been a vegetable. Jihye forced herself to eat. Raphael leaned towards the barkeep, a broad-shouldered man with an amused expression permanently etched into his features. "We are looking for a researcher," Raphael said casually. The barkeep's grin widened immediately. "Oh," he chuckled. "You mean DJ." Joaquin blinked. "DJ?" The barkeep nodded enthusiastically. Don't worry. If you wait long enough, DJ'll make himself known." The way he said it did not entirely inspire confidence. They returned to their meal, uncertain. Minutes passed. Then, boom! The explosion rattled the windows, stew sloshed in bowls, glasses vibrated. No one in the saloon reacted. Caleb blinked. Boom! A second explosion, louder. Raphael stood immediately. "Outside." They rushed into the street. What they saw stopped them in their tracks. In the center of the crossroads stood a brown-haired man in a white lab coat, doubled over with laughter. He wore 2 pairs of glasses stacked awkwardly on his face. One set appeared normal, the other had mismatched lenses, one clear, one vivid green. In front of him, a geyser of rainbow liquid erupted from the ground, spraying upwards in shimmering arcs of red, blue, gold, and violet. The substance glittered in the sunlight like liquid confetti. Hovering above it was a small drone shaped like a disco ball, rotating lazily as it projected tiny specks of light across the street. The man clapped his hands delightedly. "Yes," he crowed, "optimal saturation achieved." Jihye stared. "What," she began slowly, "is that?" The man straightened and adjusted his glasses, finally noticing their presence. "Oh," he said brightly, "don't worry, it's just a soil enricher." Jihye frowned. "Rainbow fertilizer?" He shrugged cheerfully. "Sure, why not?" Jihye had no answer for that. Raphael stepped forward, carefully measured. "Are you the local researcher?" The man's face lit up as though someone had ignited a lantern inside him. "Sure am," he declared proudly, spreading his arms. "Name's DJ, and I'm the last line of defense for the planet." Caleb blinked. Joaquin folded his arms. Estratrix tilted his head slightly, unimpressed. Raphael's expression remained polite, but skeptical. Against what, precisely? DJ beamed. Oh, you know, apocalyptic entities, dimensional ruptures, minor reality tears, seasonal anomalies, Tuesdays. Jihye stared at him. You are serious, she said flatly. Always, DJ replied. Behind him, the rainbow geyser subsided into a glittering puddle that hissed faintly against the dirt road. Jihye exchanged a look with Raphael. Trust yourself. She stepped forward. We need to talk, she said. DJ adjusted both pairs of glasses simultaneously, peering at her intently. His mismatched lenses flickered faintly. Ah, he said softly. His expression changed. The laughter faded, replaced by something sharper, analytical. Well, he murmured, tilting his head slightly. You're interesting. Raphael's voice was steady. You've been studying anomalies. DJ's grin returned, smaller now, more focused. Oh, yes. And you, my friends, are absolutely riddled with them. Joaquin sighed quietly. DJ clapped his hands once. Right then, he said brightly. You better come inside. If you're what I think you are, this is either going to be the most fascinating conversation of my career or the end of it. The disco ball drone beeped cheerfully behind him. Jihye glanced at the others. Raphael gave a slight nod. And together they followed the self-proclaimed last line of defense for the planet into whatever came next.